Are you tired of dieting only to see the weight come right back? You're not alone. And the answer isn't more willpower or discipline. So in this video, I'm going to share the simple 10-minute daily habit that hundreds of my clients have used to boost motivation, energy, and make their weight loss efforts easier and more sustainable. And it actually has nothing to do with diet or exercise. Everyone's rushing to what diet or exercise is optimal for success, but their real problem is that they're too exhausted to stay consistent with it for the long haul. You can have the perfect plan tailored just for you specifically, but that doesn't matter if you burn out after 4 to 6 weeks and can't stick with it. So if you're struggling with belly fat, cravings, brain fog, poor sleep, low energy, and low motivation, you're probably struggling with a dysregulated circadian rhythm. And if you fix this first, you're about to make fat loss easier than ever within a week. So in this video, I'm going to go over what your circadian rhythm is, how it's sabotaging your fat loss, and how to optimize it in just 10 minutes per day. So what is your circadian rhythm? Well, a circadian rhythm is your body's natural 24-hour cycle of physical, mental, and behavioral changes. It's known as your biological clock, and it literally tells all the systems in your body what time it is. So you can kind of think of it like a conductor in an orchestra. You have all your body systems operating, but they need someone there to keep them all in sync and working together. No matter how good the individual members of the orchestra are, if their timing is off, it's gonna suck. If you really think about it, every function of your body can be beneficial at times and totally catastrophic at others. I'm sure you love alertness and energy, but not at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling. We want to be social, open, and connected with others while at a party, but not while we're trying to dial in on those spreadsheets at work. And we all want to be aroused in bed with our partner, but not, well, pretty much anywhere else. All right, so you get the point. Now, research shows us that a disrupted circadian rhythm leads to poor sleep, brain fog, depression and anxiety, low energy and motivation, and a dysregulated appetite. Good luck trying to stick with your calorie deficit with that laundry list of things going on. But the good news is this is extremely easy to fix in less than 10 minutes per day, and some studies show you can reset your clock within just a couple of days with the right habits. So our circadian rhythm syncs based on Zeitgebers. This is German for time giver. These include light, food, physical activity, social interaction, and your body temperature. To get 90% of the benefits here with less than 20% of the work, we're going to focus on light and food. And by far the strongest of these is light. And for the vast majority of human history, this worked out pretty great, particularly because the sun was our only source of light. So both the brightness and the color tint of the sun signals different activities in our body throughout the day. As an example, we can talk about melatonin and cortisol. You can think of cortisol as a wakefulness hormone, giving you energy and focus, and melatonin as a sleepy hormone, allowing you to fall asleep, but also running a bunch of repair and maintenance processes in your cells overnight while you sleep. See, bright light and specifically blue light increase cortisol and decrease melatonin, while dim light and darkness decrease cortisol and increase melatonin. But here's the problem. Our phones, TVs, monitors, and household lights have a disproportionate amount of blue light compared to the full light spectrum of the sun. This effectively sends a signal to your body that it's the middle of the day, increasing cortisol and alertness to take on the day's challenges. This is great when we need it, but we're blasted with the signal pretty much all day, every day, and our body has lost its bearings on what time it is. Think of it like a cup of coffee. If you had it once a day in the morning, it would be a great strong signal to be up and at it for a while. But drinking coffee nonstop all day, every day, from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed, you're going to very quickly lose that signal and be wired and tired constantly, never fully alert, but also never able to fully rest. And since melatonin is suppressed by blue light, even if you can get to sleep, you won't get the full restoration benefits you could have had otherwise, because it's actually doing a lot of work in the background on your cells, doing cleanup and restoration. Now here's the cool part. You can turn this around in just a few days with a few cornerstone habits that are actually incredibly easy to implement. On the whole, we want brighter days and darker nights. So here's how. The first and most important thing is getting outside as soon as you can after the sun rises for at least 10 minutes. This is the only tip that I'm going to give you here that's going to take extra time out of your day, but you can pair it with your morning coffee, checking emails, or just go on a morning walk, which is what I'd recommend. This is the single strongest driver to your circadian rhythm and kicks off all your systems for the entire day and your sleepy hormones for later. The second most important is to block excessive blue and bright lights after sunset. So the easiest, simplest, and most affordable way to do this is just to buy a pair of orange or red tinted blue light blocking glasses and throw those on. This is great because you can still watch TV or scroll your phone so you won't miss out on family time. Next, keep your bedtime and morning alarm consistent, ideally within 30 minutes every single day. This is going to come pretty naturally after you implement steps 1 and 2, but make sure you stay consistent even on weekends. In fact, one study showed higher sleep regularity was associated with a 20 to 48% lower risk of death by all causes. And it's also been shown to improve cognitive function, physical performance, and overall well-being, even if you don't sleep any more hours in the night. Now, lastly, consider installing circadian-friendly lighting in your home. This includes more full-spectrum lighting in the day, which is like less blue light heavy, more well-rounded light spectrum similar to the sun, and more nighttime friendly lighting at night. This is the cherry on top of your glasses, but it can be super nice to have if you don't want to wear those glasses all the time after the sun goes down. I'll throw my favorites in the description below. Now let's cover your food. So the most important factor when it comes to food and your circadian rhythm is consistency with your meal times. If you have a dog or any other pets, I'm sure you've noticed they start to really expect you to feed them around the same time every single day. Your body is better equipped to digest and utilize nutrients when it can predict when they're coming. In fact, research shows that inconsistent meal times leads to higher total and bad cholesterol, decreased insulin sensitivity, higher blood glucose levels, a disruption of your appetite leading to more hunger throughout the day, a disruption of cortisol production and an increase in total cortisol production across the day, higher blood pressure, and a lower thermic effect of food, which is the calories you burn digesting your food. So try to eat your meals within about an hour, either direction, every single day. So if you usually have breakfast at 8 a.m., try to have it between 7 and 9 every single day. If it were me, I'd simply aim for 3 square meals a day with minimal snacking, while making sure to finish dinner at least 2 hours or more before bedtime to improve my sleep quality. Look, I know fasting is all the rage these days, but some studies have shown that if you eat the same amount of total calories but front load them to a bigger breakfast, you actually spontaneously move more in the day and in effect burn a little bit more calories. If you want to know exactly how many calories to be eating to lose fat sustainably, you can check the description for my free calorie calculator below. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop them below and subscribe for more sustainable fat loss tips.